Alright guys, how's it going? Emmett here, back with another video. So in today's video, we're going to be breaking down, as you saw in the title, generating £4 mortgage leads through Facebook and Instagram. Now, you probably grimaced a little bit whenever I said Facebook and Instagram, and that's fine. I'm going to be touching on certain beliefs and conceptions around that because I'm fully aware that you have probably had some sort of bad experience with it because of the perception that it has in the industry. I will be touching on it, don't worry. But this video is more just a case of this is something that I have done. I'll be breaking down the success that I've had with a client of mine, and I'm not telling you that you need to replicate this or you need to go ahead and do the same things that I'm doing. It's not the case. This is just what worked for me, and if you want to stick with your referral clients, if you want to stick with your introducers, that's fine. But if you're actively looking to do new business, you're looking for new ways to generate leads, generate appointments, generate clients, and actually do more business, then this is the video for you. So for all the mortgage brokers who are looking to write more business, you're in exactly the right place. So let's get into it and actually break down the strategies that I implemented. So, like I said in the title, generating £4 leads for mortgages through Facebook and Instagram. Like I said, I'm aware you're probably grimacing a little bit at the first mention of Facebook and Instagram. And for anybody who's questioning this in the slightest, you can see here £3.78 per lead on Facebook, and I will be jumping into the back end of Facebook Ads Manager as well later in this video, just to double prove that, shall we say. But I actually want to touch on something initially, and this leads me on from what I was saying about Facebook and Instagram and the reputation that this has in the space. And I want to start with an uncomfortable truth. So before I actually break down the strategy on this, I want to do a little bit of a rant. Now, if you don't want to listen to this, skip on a couple of minutes, but I think it's important that you hear. So social media, marketing, and lead generation, it has a bad reputation, not only in this industry, but in pretty much every industry. There are people out there who aren't doing what they say that they're doing, is the truth. But a lot of it comes down to misaligned expectations. And that is just that not every single lead is going to just roll over and give you their money. Like, these are real people, yeah, and what you're asking for is their hard-earned money. You're asking for their money to leave their pocket and into yours. That's what business is, yeah. You're going to be taking money from other people. And that's not just going to happen straight away. It's not just going to happen automatically. And it's certainly not just going to happen because somebody submitted their name on a post somewhere or somebody showed interest in something online at some point. That does not mean that you are entitled to the right to claim their money and sign them as a client straight away, because it's just not the truth. And it's not going to happen. And if you think it's going to happen, well, you have misaligned expectations. I know, like I said, I know you're not going to want to hear this stuff, but I'm going to go on to how you can actually solve this, don't worry. But social media, it's not just a platform for sharing entertainment videos. You need to believe that if you stick with this, it will bear fruit. Because if you stick with generating more referral clients, you're going to generate more referral clients. If you focus your time and energy on building relationships with introducers, you're going to get more leads and clients from introducers. If you focus your time and energy on social media, you will start to get more leads and appointments from social media. That's just how it works. And if you actually believe it, and you actually dedicate your time and your energy to it properly, it will bear fruit. And if you truly believe it, you'll stick with it, because it's impossible to behave out of alignment with what you believe to be true. And this is an idea known as praxis. And just trust me, just bear with it. Actually believe that this is going to work. Actually believe this is worth your time. And it's not just a load of kids with black t-shirts and purple lights thinking that they know everything. Definitely not talking about myself. Anyways, yeah, like I say, if you watch this video, that's rant over, by the way. If you watch this video, I'll show you what I've actually done to drive some results. So, out of the way, you just need to believe that social media actually has potential to drive results through business, actually generate these clients, and actually drive you forward. It's not just some place for kids to sit and doom scroll. It's not the case. So, this is the actual strategy that I've adopted and seen success with the small amount of clients that I have. Let's get on to it. The reason everybody's here, am I right? So the first step is to define an ICP, or an ideal client profile, and this is something you actually need to take time to dedicate to and actually work through well. So use the right strategy to attract the right client, essentially. What you want to do is, let's say for example, you want to work exclusively with remortgage clients. You want to speak to their problems, their unanswered questions, and their uncertainties, and make sure they realize you actually understand their current situation. So what are going to be their problems? Odds are they are probably struggling with their current rate, right? Maybe they got in a fixed rate deal 2 years ago. Maybe they got on one 4 years ago. And now they're coming up to the end of their mortgage term and they're worried about the lender's variable rate that they're going to be going on to. And they're thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to cope with this? I'm struggling with the bills enough as it is. And what they're going to want is, what they're going to want to know, unanswered questions. Can I get on a better rate based on my current deal? Am I able to actually find a better deal with my current lender or a different lender? And they're going to be unsure about that. So what you need to do is, and this is the reason why I say do this out in a document and take some time, you want to actually take some time to list out their problems. You want to come up with about 10 problems that you can think of. And if you guys are serious about this, you will actually take the time to do it. Do out a list of their problems. Do out a list of their unanswered questions. And do out a list of their uncertainties. And the whole point of this is to actually understand their current situation. Because if people feel like you understand them, then they're going to be more inclined to trust you. You need to actually display that you know what the person's going through and you know their struggles and you validify them. And I'm going to show you now how to do that. So you do that through optimizing your profile, and that is through content as well. So we have here obviously some foundations, I'll get onto this in a second, but you want to actually speak to your ICP. You want to address their problems through your content. So you want to start off your video with, are you looking for a better mortgage rate? Are you struggling with your current mortgage rate? Is your mortgage term coming to an end in the next 6 months and you're worried about the next variable rate you're going to be getting put onto? So on and so forth. Actually address their problems in your hooks, in your value peaks, in your call to actions, in your branding, in your overall messaging of your social media profile. And you want to address their problems. You actually want them to realize that you know the things that they're going through, you know the problems that they're facing, and you not only know, but can provide the solution to them. And if you're going ahead and sharing success stories from other clients who've been in this situation, then it just builds that trust even further, yeah. Social proof, biases, all of that stuff. If people think that you can help other people with a specific problem, they'll be more inclined to think that you can help them with the problem as well. And if all your content is plastered with addressing their problems, their unanswered questions, their uncertainties, like you should have done out in the document that I know you're going to get done whenever you watch this video, then you'll be able to make a very what's the word I'm looking for? A very strong content strategy that actually resonates with your ideal clients. And I know you're probably asking, oh, well, Emmett, the market's bigger if I speak to everybody. But if you speak to everybody, nobody's actually going to resonate. And yeah, maybe you do speak to more people, but a smaller proportion of that audience is actually going to be resonating enough to want to submit and work with you. So I would recommend that you stick with one ICP. Less of the market is so much more. And you want to just take my word on that. Actually, you don't need to take my word on it. This is just me talking about the success that we've had and the strategy that we've implemented. So I'll let the results speak for themselves. But that wasn't obviously the only thing in the point here. You can see here that these are just sort of some foundational steps. So you want to sort out your profile picture, your bio, your brand colors, all of that stuff. They're bare necessities. And if you're looking to take the social media game seriously and you're not doing this, then God help you, because it's like showing up to a client meeting in pajamas. I'm being serious, that might sound a bit weird, but how you present yourself is very important, and people are starting to lean towards the side of using social media as more of a business platform, whereby they look for mortgage advice. They might find people who go ahead and do their mortgages on social media. And if you go ahead and look at my page here, for example, so this is me. You can see very clear profile picture, just my face in a professional setting, wearing a shirt and a tie. I mean, how much more professional can you get? When it comes to the bio, Emmett McCarry, my business, my brand is me, as I'm still a one-man band, so I make that very clear in the bio. You might want to go ahead, put your name, put the business name, and then state what you do. So residential mortgage advisors, equity release specialists, IFA, whatever it may be that you do. Unrelated social media, that's who I am. Helping mortgage brokers get clients, that's what I do, and a call to action. So who you are, what you do, and you can put a call to action in there as well. That is sort of the bare minimums that you need on your platform. And we can see on your profile, and you can see here we have the highlight covers too. And that just adds a little hint of professionalism as well. Keep those in line with your brand colours. And that is essentially the foundations that you need to present your profile. If you're not doing it, then like I say, God help you. It really is like showing up to a client meeting in pajamas. The way that you present yourself, and if you're going to seriously use this as a way to generate new business, then you want to take it seriously. So take it seriously, and actually, get the profile looking nice, get the profile looking ready, so that when people come onto this, they actually think, wow, this person's professional, this person knows what they're doing, this person takes their work seriously in all aspects, not just in mortgage advice. Because if you take one thing seriously, you'll take everything seriously. If you take everything seriously, you'll take this one client as serious as you'll take any other client. And that's what the client's going to be thinking when they see your page. So we've already discussed speaking to your ICP through your content, address their problems, give them the value that they need, and hook them in the right way too. But where you can really stand out is making them like you. And when it comes to social media, there isn't a follower cap, right? There is no follower cap. You're not going to get 1 billion followers, and that's fine. But if you can get 1,000 followers of people who are actually in your space, let's say even like 2% of those guys convert to clients, it's 20 clients straight away, just from organic social media stuff. And the point about this is that for the most part, mortgage advice is homogenous, okay? For the most part. Obviously, some advisors are going to be inexperienced, things like that. Some will have more experience than others. But you can't necessarily just stand out on advice alone. You're not going to be able to do that. And the truth is, the majority of clients probably aren't that bothered by it either. But you can most certainly stand out on client perception of you. If you can make people perceive you in a certain way that makes them more likely to want to do business with you, that is where you're going to win. And you can do that through content creation, because content creation is not homogenous. People will come forward and they will say, just address problems, just talk about educational content, just talk about value. But you can get people to like you through making funny content as well, through making entertainment content. It doesn't just have to be all boring educational. And I know I'm not directly addressing exactly how to do this or giving you a step-by-step guide on this. I do plan on making a future video on it, so if you are interested in that, make sure to drop a comment. But the point is, get people to like you as well as trust you, because if you know all their problems, you understand their situation, and that hooks them in, and they trust you as an advisor. If you can get them to actually want to watch your stuff, laugh whenever they watch your stuff, get entertained by you, like you as a person, and trust your ability as a professional, who do you think that they're going to go to whenever it comes to needing advice? Do you think they're going to go to you, who is the ultimate professional, but they actually like as well through your content? Or do you think they're just going to go to an advisor down the street who might give 5% better advice than you, but they don't know them, they don't trust them, they spend all their time on their phone anyway? You want to go ahead and actually cater your stuff so that people like and trust you, and that's where you can really stand out, because you're probably not going to stand out in advice alone. It's just the truth. And actually standing out in a market is the way to generate the most of the customers. And a good example of this, actually, just before I move on, is in things like supplements and food, nutrition, science, things like that. The best products, so the best supplements and the best like energy tablets, things like that, the best ones in the market that are actually have the most vitamins, have the most minerals, they aren't the best sellers. The best sellers are the ones that Ronaldo takes, or the ones that LeBron James takes. It's the ones with the biggest sponsors, the ones with the best marketing, the ones with the best flavours and tastes, the ones with the best packaging, so on and so forth. So it's more about the client perception and the public's perception of you that you need to worry about, as opposed to there's a caveat to this. This is on the assumption that you already are giving brilliant advice. I'm not saying neglect your customer in the slightest, but once you have nailed the advice side of things, then you need to start standing out through content and getting people to like you. I'm not saying neglect your client in the slightest, so there's a very big catch-22 to that. But yeah, the point is, you want to go ahead, actually lay your foundations, have a professional looking profile, speak to your ICP and address their problems to get them to trust you, but also get them to like you through standing out, through entertaining content as well. Because you cannot stand out on advice alone, because everybody can give brilliant advice. But not everybody is doing social media in the way that you're going to be doing it if you keep watching this video. So, the actual ad systems. Let's jump into Ads Manager. I'm not going to be breaking this down just here. So I will preface this, by the way. If you have zero experience with Facebook ads, this probably isn't going to make a lot of sense to you. And that's fine. Like, again, I'll be making a video breaking down ads specifically, and a lot of my videos already are speaking exclusively on paid ads. So if you want to have a look at those, then do. But if you do already understand Facebook ads, you have a foundational knowledge of it, then this will probably make a bit more sense to you. You can go ahead and this will hopefully help you with your paid ads that you have going already. So let's get into it. What we have here, so I'll come back just to the campaigns. So the way that I like to run my campaigns is that I will do a test campaign, okay? And I'll do this for 5 to 7 days. You can see here, so initial test campaign 20th, the second one was on the 27th, so we ran this one for 7 days just because I wasn't happy with the results after 5 days, but after 7 days we had a very clear winner. And the purpose of this is to use a wide variety of creatives. So I use, as you can see here, video creatives, ChatGPT creatives, UK map creatives, just a photo of the UK map, and property and house creatives, so just a photo of properties. And the whole purpose of this, okay, so they're in their own separate ad sets, and in each ad set there are 4 separate creatives, just to give that real variety, to allow Facebook to have enough to work with to show to different people. And if it has enough to work with to show to different people, eventually you're going to have the right creative to show to people that's going to start getting you a cost per lead that you're happy with. So the point here is use variety to test, and whenever you've done a test and have generated a cost per lead that you're happy enough with, then you can go ahead and optimize. So you can see here, budget is $5.75 daily. And you might be thinking, oh, it's split evenly across. £5 per ad set isn't a lot, but it's just a test to see which has the best cost per lead. And whenever you find the one with the best cost per lead, then you can go ahead and optimize and start spending more of the budget on that one creative. So if we look here, I'll change this to November, because obviously today's the first day of the month. Last month, we have, you can see, so video creatives were a very clear winner. Cost per result, 7.28 compared to 14, 21, 22. And if we look, we can see 6 leads here. And this was in the span of a week. So about a lead a day on that one campaign, and approximately 2 leads a day. On that. About 1 a day for that one ad set, and approximately 13 for the entire campaign. But there's a very clear winner there. Video creatives. It was a very clear winner. So whenever it came to the end of the 7-day period, I went ahead and set up a video campaign exclusively, and I dedicated 100% of the budget to video ads. And as you can see, it's only been running for 4 days now, 27th of November, today's the 1st of December, and we've gotten 11 leads in 4 days, which is ridiculous. And if we come through, and that's just for November, we have more here in December as well today. So if we come in to this month, we can see we've got 4, so it's 15 leads in 4 days, which is ridiculous. Cost per result, $4.25, so you have to forgive me, the cost per result has gone up a little bit since I took that screenshot earlier, because I was claiming that I was doing $3.78, but in the interest of being open and honest, that is now at $4.25. Regardless, 4 leads in a day is pretty ridiculous if you ask me, and it's a very clear winner. It's now got all of the budget, so if I have a look here, budget, yep, so the budget's set at the ad set level, so budget £23 a day, £700 monthly, and yeah, we spent, how much did we spend? We spent about £100, £150 on the initial test, but we still set 2 or 3 meetings from that anyway, so it's going to get a good return on investment there. But now that we've actually gone ahead and found the winner, which is the video creatives, it is, we are excuse the language and everything here, but we are literally making it rain with leads here. We're doing so well. From those, how many leads have we got in total? 4 plus 11, 13. So about 30 leads. We've set 9 appointments, I believe. I'll put a screenshot up on the screen here now, just showing you exactly how many appointments we've booked in the past 10 days of running this campaign. But the point is, you want to do an initial test, find out what works best, what gets the best cost per result, and then you can start to filter the budget into that winning creative. And to do that test, you want to make sure that you use a wide variety of stuff. I'd recommend 4 ad sets for 4 creatives each, and I've been using DCT, dynamic creative testing, for the real ad gurus. You'll know what that is, but if you don't know, it's fine. Check out the next video I'll be making, and I will break that down for you. Use the initial test, then take the winner, actually direct more of the ad budget to that, and that's when you can start seeing real results, like 4.28 per lead, which is unreal. So let's come back into my row. That is the ad system broken down, and we've got one more point here before I call it a day, because this is something that, whilst it might seem minuscule, if you do not implement this, you will not see results. They're not going to happen. It's just the truth. So bear with me for this one, and there's going to be a bit of a rant for this one as well, the same way that I had for the social media at the start, and it's to do with beliefs that people have. So FUPS. What is that? It stands for follow-ups. Follow-ups and limiting beliefs. So, whenever a lead submits, people have the impression, Facebook leads, they're really low quality. I would never pay for Facebook leads. They never answer the phone, they're low quality, they're low intent, all this stuff. But just because one person doesn't answer the phone, this doesn't mean that Facebook and Instagram doesn't work as like a means to generate business. Someone doesn't answer the phone once, and you declare that because of that one event, Facebook and Instagram doesn't work. It doesn't mean that Facebook and Instagram doesn't work. It just means that the person didn't answer their phone. And that's all it means. People are busy. And if you ring between 9 to 5, they will be at work. They will be with their kids. They will be on a bus. They will be walking in public and they can't answer their phone. They'll be on the underground and they don't have any signal. What else do people do these days? They'll be on the sunbeds. I don't know. Whatever people are doing these days. Just because they don't answer the phone once doesn't mean they're not interested. You need to remember that every submission was a conscious action from an individual to give you their information and request a call back. Every single one was a real person saying, I want a call from this company, clicking the box and submitting their name and number, saying, I want a call from these people. And that's conscious action. And they are real people with real problems that you can actually solve. Following up with them until you either secure their business or until you find out that you can't help them or they don't want your help is a bare minimum. Bare minimum. You're paying for a lead and you're not going to make the most and get a final answer out of that lead. Why are you paying for the lead? If you have the attitude that I'm going to pay for this lead, ring them once, and then, they're not interested, then you shouldn't be doing lead generation or marketing because you don't actually want to grow your business. You would rather sit in the pain of knowing that you can't grow your business than actually go through the pain of following up with leads and actually putting effort into your marketing to grow your business. It's just the truth. Because humans love the path of least resistance, right? And if the pain of staying in the same position is more painful than the pain of growing your business, you're going to grow your business. But if the pain of growing your business is more painful than staying where you are, you're going to stay where you are. It's just the truth. So, I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably thinking, this is spam. I'm not calling these people 10 times. There's no way. But it's not spam. They actually requested a call. Like I said, they're the ones pushing the button saying, I want to call back from this company. Here's my name and number, and I want to call about mortgages. You're giving them exactly what they asked for. And if they say that they're not interested, they're actually spamming you by wasting your time. Because, think of it in terms of like a prank call, Imagine someone prank called a business, and they're like, can I speak with an advisor? And then when the advisor answers, they hang up the phone, and the kid goes off like, I prank called that business here. An adult doing a submission on Facebook or Instagram and then not answering or being like, I'm not interested, is exactly the same as that. They're asking for your time and attention and effort and like professional consciousness to direct attention to that person. And if they then go ahead and say they're not interested, that is spam. They're the ones spamming you. So don't fucking worry about it, mate. Like, you're fine. But yeah, overall, just because they don't answer the phone, they're busy. They actually made the conscious decision to submit. They're a real person. They have real problems with their real mortgages, and you can actually help them. You need to see every single person as a potential piece of business that if the right course of action is followed as a result of this submission, that I will secure their business and I'll be able to grow my own business as a result. That's how you need to see every single lead. And if you can't, lead generation isn't for you. And that goes back to the main thing that I was saying at the start about misaligned expectations. And if you can't at least have that expectation for every single lead, get out of the game, because it's not going to work for you. But you can pay someone else to do this for you as well. So it's up to you. But this is just the reality of lead generation. You cannot give up on a single lead. And you can tell I get very passionate about this because, people will generate leads and they'll not get an answer, and then they'll declare that ads don't work, which just isn't true. You need to just stick with it and do it properly. And doing it properly is how you get it to work. Grass is greener where you water it. That's just the truth of it. So that is that, guys. That's how I generated £4 leads for mortgages on Facebook and Instagram. So that was in the region of about 25 to 30 leads. I can't remember specifically how much. 25 to 30 leads in a 10-day period, which, now that I say it out loud, is actually unbelievable. I promise I'm not just doing this to fuel narcissism or anything like that. But I just wanted to show you guys what's available. If you don't care for this, if you're not interested, it's fine. You don't need to implement this, but I like to think I've given you good enough of a base and a good enough of a proof of concept that you might want to keep your ears open and keep your mind open to it. And I know I didn't go into excruciating detail when it comes to optimizing your profile, when it comes to the content. I will be making a content specific strategy. I'll be making a video on that at some point in the near future. And I'll be making a video on the ads as well. If you want a video on follow-ups, on expectations, on mindset, on attitude, anything like that, drop a comment below and I'll be more than happy to make it. But for now, I want to focus on the ads and the content, but I'm more than happy to fill the demand. So yeah, that's how we generated £4 cost per leads for our mortgage clients, guys. If you watched the whole way through, appreciate you still being with me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one as well. Thank you so much.